South Africa is partitioned into 9 regions, with Gauteng having the most elevated population density evaluated to 12,272,263. The province has both created an immature township that incorporates Reiger Park, Ebony Park, Atteridgeville, Soweto, Alexandra, and others. In 1912, perhaps the least fortunate township, framing some portion of the city of Johannesburg, was built up ashore, initially possessed by a rancher, Mr. H.B. Babenfas, naming it after his better half, Alexandra. The township was one of a couple of urban territories in the nation where black individuals could claim land under a freehold title of the Land Act 1913. Around 1916, the number of inhabitants in Alexandra had developed to 30,000 individuals, and the territory was under dual administration of the Alexandra Health Committee, which was not permitted to gather annual duties, and the Johannesburg city that guaranteed the zone fell outside its jurisdiction. This prompted absence of resources and legitimate administration. During the 1960s, the administration chose to obliterate all family settlement in Alexandra and supplanted them with single-sex hostels, which prompted far-reaching obstruction and protests driven by the Reverend Sam Booty with the topic, Save Alexandra.
I am staying with my children, right? And the children, it's 4 small children with me in 1 2-room house. I have to fight for my right now.
The protest enlisted its first phase of the course, and Reverend Sam Booty was later instituted to run the township. In 1980, the populace in Alexandra had escalated to around 70,000, and a master plan was initiated with the point of transforming Alexandra into a garden city with a totally new design. This didn't stream as arranged because of the interruptions of the 1986 February uprising that constrained the administration to end the master plan forever. A little piece of the arrangement was executed, and the other part was totally forgotten about. Another remarkable disruptor happened during the communal and political clashes in 1991 to 1992 in Alexandra. Numerous individuals were harmed, murdered, and dislodged, hence expanding the number of vagrants, and an expected 27,000 shacks were built on a 500 to 600 square mile land. In 1994, the first fully democratic South African government led several peace initiatives around the nation, and through a few activities, a resurrection of subsidy houses, generally known as RDP houses, were prioritized to close the gap between the underdeveloped and the developed zones in the nation. These houses were only compliant to low-income families around the nation.
We have now completed plans to build houses throughout the country. But that program is going to move very slowly because it is going to be determined by the resources that we have, the money that we have. But our plans now are complete, and we are going to see houses, more houses coming up.
For as far back as years, the Alexandra Renewal Project has neglected to satisfactorily give houses to the community, which has on several occasions sparked uprising from the community.
It's over 25 years that they last built houses here. My mother's been on the waiting list since 1990 something. She didn't get a house. Our grandchildren are making children already, and we're still living in people's backyards.
How long are we supposed to plead? How long are they going to come here and take us for a ride? We don't love doing what we're doing. It is not a good feeling for us. What we're asking for is assistance.
Fucking shoot back today, you
Individuals from the society claim the administration has neglected to satisfy its guarantees concerning RDP houses, rather gaze at its officials who have minimized the renewal project.
I'm sorry to say this, but foreigners, not the South African citizens, are buying houses here in South Africa. They are getting there with fraud. They are entering with fraud. We cannot tolerate this.
We are the bona fides, but now the people who's not qualifying at all, they own our own houses. We've got 3 farms of 92 and 96, but now we are not something.
They come and steal that material at night with their cars. They come and take the geezers out there with the material. They come and steal them and sell them to us here. We are sitting under
Obviously, housing is a very sensitive project, especially in our areas. I think the last houses were built here 30, 40 years ago, and people have been given the expectation that there will be houses.
There's people here waiting for 40 years for houses. Nothing happened. I mean, since 94.
On the 9th of February 2001, His Excellency Thabo Mbeki, in his State of Nation address to the Parliament, declared the Integrated Sustainable Rural Development and Urban Renewal Program as key segment of the government's approach to addressing urbanization and housing challenges in South Africa.
The objectives we seek to achieve are moving the economy onto a higher growth path, increasing its competitiveness and efficiency, raising employment levels, and reducing poverty and persistent inequalities.
The housing issue has not only affected Alexandra residents, but also other immature parts of the nation.
There's been no development. You go around Reiche Park, the only place that's been developed is that they built a few houses in Ramaphosa, and that's the extent of it. Reiche Park, no development, nothing. They have forgotten. They're not even thinking about Reiche Park. Reiche Park has become a non-issue to the government.
Like Annandale doesn't exist to anybody. Right? I mean, there's Orange Farm and Palm Springs. They just came up. They got the biggest malls. They got hospitals. What have Annandale got? Sweet, nothing.
An estimation financial plan of 1.3 billion rand had been reserved for the redevelopment of Alexandra through the Alexandra Renewal Venture over a time period of 7 years, with the hope of fundamentally changing the physical, economic and social environment of Alexandra Township.
My granny had applied for an RDP house. Whenever she go to house department, they will say, oh, there's your house, we can see there's a house. But then we don't have that power to go to that house and take that person out. So what I can say, we are very, very disappointed, my brother. We are very, very, very disappointed. Because I did leave school because of I had to take care of my granny. She's not working. I'm the only one now who's working, and I'm not getting that basic salary that I needed. So I would like to go and rent, but that money that I will rent with, I would rather take it to buy some food for my granny. So it's very, very hard, my love. It's very, very hard.
Whilst directing this narrative, we were instigated to unload the hypothesis beneath the bombed undertaking, and how the administration is planning to step up on the long-pending issue that has affected Alexandra as well as other immature territories of the nation. In our next segment, we will reveal the findings.